Hey, once again, it's a midweek mashup. This time, it's 3 videos on the Acorn Electron, basically the little brother of the BBC Micro. It was cut down, simplified, but in some ways also better. Not sure many would agree with that, but it was quite expandable because it had full access to the bus via the expansion port. And over its time, there were many amazing upgrades that came out. I have none of these upgrades, but that's okay. Anyway, enjoy this little video of an unboxing and setting up, and I can't remember what the last part was. I think it was just an SD card upgrade maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, I've smashed all these together and added this intro, and yeah, enjoy. Good morning. I wasn't expecting to make a video today, but there I was enjoying a nice lie-in bed this morning. I've already said this morning, but don't worry, we can edit that out. I probably won't. And there was a knock at the door, and I received 3 parcels, and I think they're all related to a project that I've been waiting to work on. So we'll do a quick unboxing. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So we'll open these up, and hopefully they are what I think they are. And then the next video will be me giving them a clean up and get them going. So onto the unboxing. Okay then. I guess there's nothing left to do, but open them up. We'll do smallest to biggest. And the smallest will give you an idea of what the biggest is. Let's see. Make sure there's nothing. Oh yeah, I need on that side. Yeah, that seems to be everything. Right. Fair at opening parcels. Yeah. Let's put that the right way up so you can read it. Acorn Electron ELK SD 128. That would tell you this project is related to an Acorn Electron. And there it is. The ELK SD 128. SD card interface plus more, as far as I know, including joystick, for the Acorn Electron. We'll cover this when it's featured in the video. The next parcel is, I believe, a power supply for an Acorn Electron, because the auction I bid on is untested, as they had no power supply. And that could mean it is generally untested, as they had no power supply. Or it could be that it's completely buggered and it will never work. But I guess we'll see. Obviously, it's not going to be a genuine Acorn power supply. They've well wrapped it, I'll give them that. But an equivalent. Now the Acorn Electron takes an AC input, but also you can give it a DC input, it's quite happy. Basically all the power supply is doing is supplying power, and then the board inside does any rectification and regulation. So yep, there we have it. It's the bog standard power adapter. And now, you know, I'm now going to have to blur this entire video because I've just realised my address is shown there. But that's fine, we can blur that section. But in the meantime, cut that out there. There you go. See? You can't see my dress now, it's fine. Anyway, on to the actual unboxing of this piece of UK computing history. That is the most incredibly shit packing job I have ever seen. Have you seen this? We'll just wrap it up with a bit of cardboard over the top, a bit of bubble wrap. Hope for the best. However, it doesn't look like it got damaged. But seriously, tape straight on the plastic? Great. Yep, got some stuck to it. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Almost got the tape off. This is the stickiest tape I've ever seen. Well, it's not actually. I have seen stickier. Gorilla tape is much stickier. Got some residue stuck there of the glue, but we can work about getting it off really quickly. Otherwise, has not come from a smoker. It's yellowed, a little bit dirty. Something's rattling inside, so we will open it up before we start it up. Keyboard feels good. So, you know what? I guess we're going to have an open up on the first video too. So, let us get a soft surface to work from. Impressively, all the screws are inside. Right then. Oh, I'm not sure this has ever been opened. That's probably a good sign, actually. Because if it's never been opened, no one's fucked it up. One would hope. Making sure I take the right screws out and put them in the right place. Just in case they're different length. And yes, the back ones are slightly longer than the front ones. Now I'll lift this carefully up, because I know there is a ribbon for the keyboard. Nothing appears blown, and I actually can't see anything rattling around inside, so I don't know what it was. Oh, he says there's something. Just drops off. I guess we'll see if it's important at a later date. Everything this side. Actually, I think it was just the keyboard rattling noises. That's good. So I guess what we're going to do now is we won't put the screws back in yet. We will plug it in and see if it works. So back uno momento. Now, please excuse the shoddy camera work. I don't have a mobile camera and this bit is set up over the opposite side of the studio, so I'm using my phone. So we've got this Acorn set up, the power supply is there. I've made up from my camera cable I had lying around a composite cable because I haven't got the proper RGB cable yet, which is plugged into the back of the monitor. Yellow for video, so that can go into the composite out on the Acorn Electron, which I believe is that port. So that plugged in. And I guess we're going to go for broke and plug the power in. Will it work? We got a yellow power light, but no beep from the speaker. So that's something. Now, have I got the right source on the TV? Let's have a look, see. It's not VGA, it's not HDMI. Oh my God. Could be external one. No. Oh, it's going to be that one. Anything? No. Okay, so initial boot, no joy. Now that we've established that it is in fact not starting up, got the multimeter out, and let's see if we're at least getting the right voltages out of the power supply. So first of all, plug him in. And yep, got the multimeter set right. So I'm going to assume that that's ground. So this should be -5 volts, -4.7, close enough. And this should be +5. Yep, we're getting the correct voltages there. That's ground, as it should be. Let's just check it's actually connected to ground. Yep. Okay. So we're getting the right voltages. Now let's check the obvious things. That ULA is cold. Not seeing any cap juice on the motherboard. None of the chips are getting hot. Now, the most common problem on an Acorn Electron, if I remember correctly, let's unplug this first, is faulty RAM, faulty ULA. Not necessarily faulty ULA, sometimes it can just need taken out and given and clean. So that's what we're going to try next. I just don't know how to take that ULA out, so I'm going to quickly Google that, because we don't want to, break it. Now, as you can see from the video where I tried booting it, obviously it didn't boot. However, that's not to say it's not just a broken speaker and my composite cable isn't working, because I haven't tested that with anything else either, because I don't have anything else that uses a composite. I have already ordered an RGB to SCART cable for the Electron before it even arrived. So hopefully that will do the trick. But I do believe the Electron is not working. Now, I did resocket the ULA, felt any chips to see if they were hot. Nothing, really. I'm not an expert on Acorn Electron, so I'm going to consult the Stardot forums. I will then check more, possibly order a few parts if I need them. and then we'll go from there. But I'm not going to start really getting into the woods when I don't know what I'm doing until I've done a bit of research. So for now, this is part 1. Part 2 will happen when I've got more of an idea of what's happening next. I do have some other projects I'm working on, like the Atari ST behind me, and there's an Amstrad PCW coming in soon, so that will be another project. I'm also building what you might call a bridge PC, which is not most modern, but not completely ancient, but it retains a bit of compatibility of modern and old. I mean, modern PCs don't even have a floppy drive connector. Who uses floppy drives? People like me. So I've got a motherboard that uses, it's old enough to have a floppy drive connector, because there is some hardware that can read and write disks for other computers, but it needs direct access to the floppy controller. I mean, I could use something like a grease weasel, but I had an old motherboard and stuff lying around, so why not build it into a reverse sleeper PC in a modern looking case with an ancient motherboard? But I'm waiting for the floppy drive cables to arrive for that, because who keeps these days? Not me. Anyway, for now, bye-bye. Hey, welcome to part 2 of the Acorn Electron video series. Now, in the last video, we found it wasn't working. On closer inspection, I'll probably add some pictures into the video here. There were various bent and broken pins on the ULA socket. Now, I tried straightening a couple of pins and one of them just went flying. Very large metal fatigue, I'm guessing. Anyway, I'd asked for some advice on the Stardot forums, and one of the members offered to have a go at fixing it for me. So I duly sent it off to him, and he fixed it the same day and sent it back the next day. I was quite shocked. So thank you very much. You know who you are. I'm not going to put your name on here, because who really... That was a new one. Did you see that? It put a thumbs up on the screen. That's awesome. Anyway, the guy that fixed it for me sent it back. It's arrived today. So we're going to give it a little unbox and fit it back into the case and see how well the Electron is. I mean, I suspect we may have keyboard issues still. It's an old computer, but you never know. Anyway, let's get to the unboxing and see where we go from there. No time like the present to get started. Be a bit careful with this one, because we don't want to do any damage. Not that I really will, let's face it. It looks like he's boxed it up well. Oh look, he's even put it back in the same box I sent it to him in. Doesn't want to come undone through the clipper. Yes, this is not in fact an RTX 3050. It is in fact one, hopefully, fully repaired Acorn Electron. Yeah, it looks like whole new pins on there. Awesome. Now I do need to also resolder the return cable for the AC out on there, because Muggins here accidentally ripped it off when I put it in the computer. Right. Let's put this back in. Speaker plugged in. I appear to be missing a screw. Let's just double check I didn't accidentally leave it in the case. I know where it is, it's fine. Just seen it. I forgot to pick it up out of my magnetic tray. So that's fine. So this one was missing a couple of screws in the first place. Because I only took 3 out. It's supposed to be 4. That's okay, I've got another one that should fit. Let's have a look, see. It looks the right size. Yep. Awesome. Doesn't go through. So we're not going to put the screws in yet. I cleaned up the keyboard connector too. Right. Right. Let's see if we at least get the right beep. We get nothing. Of course, I have been known to be an idiot before, but I forgot to connect the actual power to the motherboard. So, you know, it's never going to work without that. Should we try that again? There we go, the beep. I don't know if you heard that. Now, as mentioned originally in the unboxing video, I also received this at the same time. The Elk SD128. So this allows you to put an SD card in with some software, and basically I think I've got pretty much every game that the thing had on it on here already. We will see, but now we can give this a go and try reliving my teenage years. So let's go back to the bench and with the crappy phone camera, and we'll go from there and see what happens. And now for the moment of truth. We've got the display. This is very hard to do because I'm holding the phone in my hand or trying to plug the Acorn in one-handed. Let's see. Okay, we have a display. Everything looks good. Now I guess we'll test the keyboard. So we'll start with escape. That works. And function works. Not local. Does control work? Hang on. I can't do control break one-handed, so hold it with me. Bear with me 1 second while I hold the phone like that and go. Okay, control works and break works. All the keys do the shift keys. Well, I know the left shift key works because I did the what about the right shift key? Yep. Okay, so all the keys are working. I guess the next step is to try out the Elk 128 SD, or is it Elk SD 128 I bought? So that'll be the next test. But yep, this Acorn is working. So again, so the guy from Star.forums, thank you very much. Okay, so now we've got the Elk SD hooked up. I've formatted an SD card and got it set up, I hope. Let's try plug in and see. Well, it picked that up okay. Now I'm going to have trouble doing shift and break one-handed. Can I do it with this side around actually? I can, okay. Hey, that works. Let's try F7, and then we want to play. It's got to be Chucky Egg, hasn't it? When we find it, of course. Chucky Egg I. Okay. I just want to play it. Oh, okay. I want to play the original, of course, not the cheap version. K to change keys. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, up can be. Why can't I do S and do modern key layout? We'll change those keys again because that was annoying. Okay, if we can't do that, we'll do something. We'll do R, F, D. Why can't I use that key? Let's try I, K. You know what? Let's just go ham. We use old school. Up, down, left, right, space. There we go. One player. Get ready, player one. Not that I can really play it properly because I'm holding the phone in my hand. But yeah, the game works. The system works. Awesome. Hey everybody. Today we're going to be doing a little mod to the Acorn Electron. I'm going to convert the RF out port, because I'm never going to use RF out, to an audio out connection so I can tie it into the SCART connection to get audio out of the speakers on the screen, and then if I'm doing audio capture, hopefully it'll go into that as well. So we'll take it over to the bench and we'll get doing it. Also, at the same time, I'm probably going to properly fix the power pass through to the expansion port that I sort of bodged fixed last time, but I'm going to change it to different pin headers, maybe. And that should work better, be more safe rather than electrical taped up wire that's soldered onto the board. Okay, let's get to it. Okay. So hopefully the audio will work this time. The first thing I want to do, like I said, is get these pins off, because I'm going to put some of these pins on, ready for some headers. Though we're going to make sure that these headers do fit on these connectors first. Oh, I haven't opened these at all yet, and my knife is over there, but it's okay, we've got scissors. Scissors will work. Oh, actually, no. They have a. So I'll get a couple of those. Will these fit on there just fine? Oh, I don't know, they're a bit loose. So I might leave the connectors as they are. So, because I can just reconnect that, that's fine. No, we'll leave that as it is. We'll just do the modulator today.
So let's take this off the top. It's on there okay. There we go. Right, what do we need to take off? That resistor. Yep, okay. So let's see if we're going to need any fresh solder on it, or if this is going to work. I think this will work just fine. We don't need the extra solder. Okay. Take that off of there. Is it fully disconnected, or is it still partially connected? Yeah, that came off just fine. Let's make sure they're well and truly separated, because we don't want any interference between the two. No. Okay. Now we will take one of these connectors. And it will be going from there, speaker plus, no, there. And I could trim it down, but I'm actually just going to leave it full length, and we'll just solder this straight onto there. So let's put that to the side for a minute. I want to tin this up a little bit. Should be more than enough. I was going to do this as a non-destructive mod, but then I thought, well, I don't use the RF, and I'm never going to use the RF, so why not just use the RF port. I should have left a bit more room. It's fine though. That should be just fine. We're going to keep the speaker inside. Actually, while I'm at it, I do want to give top half of the edge connector a bit of a clean up with this pen. I do get some connection issues with my Elk SD, and I did the bottom half of the pins because you can reach them fine when it's thing, but I didn't actually really do the top, so we'll do that. Like I said, I was going to take this off, but these pin headers don't fit very well with the DuPont connectors, so I'll keep it the way I had it. Which means that goes there. This will slot back in here because I literally just, as you can see, did that. It's fine and does work. Let's not forget to reconnect the power this time. Am I doing it the right way up? Actually, yes. And then we'll put the screws back in. That's one size. I'm not going to use the big chunky screwdriver I used earlier because it's not quite the right one. And also this one's magnetic, so I don't have to work. No, it's not magnetic. What am I on about? Oh, it is magnetic. Okay, that does make it easier. Yeah, I saw another guide in this, and you don't need to ground the audio out connector. No, where is my other screwdriver? Because it's already grounded. Yeah, the RF port's already grounded apparently. So we'll see if that works. If not, we'll come back and put another wire on. It's fine. I'm not putting the top back on the TV modulator. We will keep it, don't worry. In case I want to reverse this mod at some point. It's just in case putting that resistor back on. And we're good to go. Right, all the screws are in. Okay. I'll put the keyboard back on. See how long it takes me to get the keyboard back on this time. Sometimes it takes me a while. Ah, first time today. Are we catching on something? What are we catching on? No, oh, okay. I think it's the speaker wires in the wrong place. There we go. We put that there. That's better. Okay then. Make sure we put the screws back in the right holes. Longer ones go in here. Though they're only slightly longer. So we'll finish buttoning this back up, and then we will hook it up to the audio out. Hopefully we'll get nice crisp audio through the TV speakers and or headphones. And then when I want to do capturing, I can capture direct from the device without having to put from the screen with a camera pointing at it. Because at the moment, obviously, because there's no audio, I mean, I can capture the video, get in the hole. But audio only comes through the internal speaker, which is fine. This isn't lining up right. I use a magnetic screwdriver to at least line up. It's not the wrong size for doing it up. There we go. Or is it? Can I do it up with this one? No, we can't. There we go. And I will change the label for that to say audio out, but not right now. So, let's turn the soldering iron off after I've cleaned the tip off. And tin the tip, preserve its life, you know. There we go. Prevent oxidization. Turn that off. And unplug it. Right. Let's take this over to the working area. Make sure everything is hunky-dory. So I will let you know momentarily, as well as show you, because, you know, why not?
Okay then, we're back. I've obviously installed the mod. I've got the phono cables hooked up with the SCART there, so the sound should come through the TV. I also ordered the SCART to HDMI adapter, but that was dead on arrival, so I've sent that back. So I can't do any captures yet, so you're stuck with the screen for now. But the sound will be coming out of the screen. Excuse the weird moire pattern there. That's not actually visible on the screen, it's just the camera picking it up. Let's switch this on. We won't hear the beep from the Acorn Electron, as you can see, because there was no sound going through. But if we then do control break, you can hear it coming through the telly. Reload again. We'll do the old classic Chucky egg as the test. So function F7, C for Chucky egg, page down, and then I. 1. One day, I'll remember to check what the keys are. I think there's ZX for left and right, probably. Let's see, shall we? No. As you can hear, the sound is coming out through the telly. So, mission success, I would say. So, next, I'm waiting to get the capture card sorted, and then we can do direct screen capture. And maybe I can do some streaming from an Acorn Electron. Well, the gaming will be on the Electron, the streaming will be from the Mac, but, you know, same difference. Apparently I died.